Still, I want to start in the US tonight and look at the classified documents scandal enveloping President Joe Biden and how the Australian reporter, who's a good friend of this program, Miranda Devine, is just unwrapping this story layer by layer or email by email. The documents drama took another twist overnight in a way that much of the media will seek to use to help Joe Biden. But he's actually in real strife, thanks to Miranda. Now, more classified documents have been found, this time at the home of Donald Trump's former Vice President, Mike Pence. And media are now downplaying the Pence discovery in order to excuse Biden's security breaches. Have a look.
In November, as the Trump story was breaking, we did not know at this point about the Biden story. In the Trump story, back in November, the former vice president sat down with ABC News, and it was quite direct.
Did you take any classified documents with you from the White House?
I did not.
Do you see any reason for anyone to take classified documents with them leaving the White House?
Well, there'd be no reason to have classified documents, particularly if they were in an unprotected area.
Well, there were classified documents, and they were in, as you report, an unprotected area. Right. Do they have any explanation for that? Again, I don't say that to pick on the former vice president, who is known as a cautious, meticulous person, but yet again, this has happened.
Look, we went through this with Biden. He said he was surprised. I think it's clear former Vice President Pence was surprised as well. These do seem to be inadvertent.
How predictable, hey? Pence and Biden excused for inadvertent possession of classified documents, while the same situation with Donald Trump prompted a Department of Justice investigation, a police raid, and hysterical media condemnation. But before the media sweeps the current president's document embarrassment aside, our friend and colleague Miranda Devine has blown all this apart in the New York Post. She's detailed one email in particular from Hunter Biden's laptop back in 2014 when his dad was vice president, and it deals with Ukraine. Remember, Devine wrote the book on Hunter Biden's laptop, and she knows this stuff like no one else. This was all happening at a time when Hunter Biden was a drug addict, was going through a divorce, was on the make in business deals using the status of his father's position, travelling on Joe Biden's government jet to foreign countries with free access to his father's, the vice president's office and house. Hunter Biden was pictured driving his father's Corvette, which was stored in the very garage where classified documents have since been discovered. So that's the context. And just before Hunter Biden gets an $80,000 a month job with a Ukrainian oil company, he sends an email to his business partner that sounds very well informed about potential Russian moves, and it includes diplomatic terminology. The strategic value is to create a land bridge for Russia to Crimea, wrote Hunter Biden. That won't directly affect Burisma Holdings, the company he was going to work for, but it will limit future Ukrainian exploration and utilisation of offshore opportunities in particular. Now, that's just part of the email. Listen to Miranda Devine explain it all on Fox News.
Look, this email is like nothing else that Hunter has written in the entire 9 years covered by the laptop. It is extremely long, 1,300 words. It's very detailed, very well informed, well written. It reads like an official document, even it reads like a classified document. There's information in there that's not readily available. He sounds very knowledgeable and very breezy about it. And you have to remember that this is at a time, a month before he joined the Burisma board. He needed money desperately, and to feed his drug habit, and they were going to pay him $83,000 a month to do not very much. And obviously they were paying for his proximity to his father, and he was showing, as he never did again, his value to them. And of course, having access to classified information would make his price much higher.
Just fascinating, isn't it? Disturbing and quite likely very damning stuff. Was Hunter Biden profiting from classified information? How much did the then Vice President Joe Biden know about this? Well, it could get a lot worse for the president, as Tucker Carlson explains.
What's amazing and so telling is that the DOJ has had this for years because the FBI seized Hunter Biden's laptop before the last presidential election in 2020. Keep in mind also the context, and the context is always Ukraine. That was true in 2014. It's true in 2023. Back in 2015, Ukraine's top prosecutor, Viktor Slokin, began investigating Burisma and wondering, why is it paying the vice president's son tens of thousands of dollars a month? So how did Joe Biden respond? Well, within a year, Joe Biden, the vice president of the United States, had Slokin fired by threatening to withhold U.S. aid money to Ukraine. We're not making this up. Here's the tape.
I went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, what, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired.
Arrogance is his weakness. Can you imagine bragging about that?
Let's see what the Department of Justice does. Let's see if they can join the dots the way Miranda Devine has done. Hunter Biden, by the way, tells his business partner in this email to buy a burner phone so they can communicate without being traced. Joe Biden and the Democrats have repeatedly attempted to scandalise Donald Trump, have him impeached and then charged. Wouldn't it be ironic if the classified document investigations actually did more damage to the Democrat president